Hey there guys, what's up? So today I'll be showing you probably the easiest glitch for breaking Bedrock from beneath. Now there's other glitches for breaking it from above. In theory one of them could even be used to break it from beneath. I'll be linking those. You guys can decide which one's better, but as long as this one exists, here it is. So I made a video on a glitch like this a while ago and I didn't really explain much of how it worked, so afterwards after I show you how to do this, I'll do my best to explain what's going on, because I don't want to be a hypocrite, because it bugs me when people don't really explain stuff. But anyways, so near the bedrock you want to destroy, set up this sort of piston configuration. And you're going to shoot one arrow right there on top of that block. Push it out, and now place a piston. You're going to want it facing downwards like that. Now you're going to want to shoot 8 arrows into it for 9 total. They may kind of bounce down like that in a weird way. And then, yeah, you'll see eventually most of them will kind of pop back up into the block. Kind of weird how it works. I would just use the entity count on the F3 screen to determine when there's 9 of them in there. So let's see, where are we at now? 8 of them in there. Just click these two. So one more. Yep, there it goes. So yeah, they kind of fall down and glitch back up. But anyways, once you have your 9 arrows in there, go ahead and place a block beneath it. You can get rid of this one. And then in the same instant, destroy this block and replace it with a gold pressure plate. And there you go. Destroys the bedrock above. So that wasn't any fancy editing. You can try this for yourself. This works in 1.7. And so far, all 1.8 snapshots. Right now I'm in 14W11B. So yeah, now I'll be doing my best to try to explain how this glitch works. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to explain this pretty well. I'm usually not the best with teaching how things work, but so what's going on here? First of all, we're changing the metadata of the pistons in order to do this. So if you don't know what the metadata of a block is, it's like a secondary value a block has to determine what state it's in, or what it's doing. So for example, the downward facing piston is the default. It has a metadata value of 0. Now Oldgen found out that there's a way that we can change the metadata value of a block without actually destroying it or placing it or anything like that. In fact, by shooting arrows into it like I demonstrated. So I'll be linking that video in the description, and it's pretty long and really in depth. I'll try to do a shorter version of what he explains, but so let me go ahead and place a downward facing piston here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a piston here. Alright, so I'm going to shoot an arrow here. Now what just happened is the arrow's floating. Now it's floating because it's confused. It's not sure if it's right there or really right there. You can see I can break this, it falls because it kind of thought it was on this block. Now arrows can change the metadata value of blocks just normally. Like the gold pressure plate, the block we're using. Let me just get that. Alright, so normally the weighted pressure plate has a metadata value of 0. We can shoot an arrow into it. Oops. And it has a value of 1 now. Shoot a second arrow. Now its value is 2, even though the second arrow there it is. And then a third arrow, its value increases to 3, so on and so forth. So using that mechanic, we can now control precisely what metadata we want a block to have. So to demonstrate this, I'll be breaking Bedrock downwards. So 2, 3, 4. Go up here. Actually right there I'll break it just so you guys can see more of what's going on. So first we need to get the downward facing piston on top of it. Well, not yet. First we need to shoot 8 arrows into it. Now if you're wondering why 8, so like I said, the metadata of a piston changes depending on what state it's in. The state for a downward extended piston is 8. Which is why we're going to shoot 8 arrows into this block now. For the upward piston, it's 9, also why we shot 8 arrows in, but for the upward facing piston, we pushed the first arrow into it for a total of 9 arrows, again, 9 is the state for an upward piston, but anyways. 8 for the downward piston. So what happens is, when we create the downward facing piston from this piston here, this block turns into the extended piston arm, essentially deleting the bedrock. Alright, so the next step would be to set up the piston that will push the arrow on top of this. So let's go ahead, and I think this needs to be up one. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so shoot 8 arrows down here. 1, 4, 7, and 8. There we go. Alright, now we just need to get that piston on top of it. The second piston we placed was just to get the first piston on top of the arrows. Now we're going to shoot an arrow here. I'm going to move it out like that. So let me try to explain what state this is in right now. This arrow doesn't know where it is. The second I destroy this block and place a gold pressure plate, this arrow will think it's landing on a gold pressure plate, even though it's actually landing on the piston. So what will happen is, because there's 8 other arrows in here, it will try to update the metadata of the pressure plate to 8, but will instead update the metadata of the piston to 8, deleting the bedrock. Hopefully you can wrap your mind around that. And there you go. Now it immediately retracts the piston arm just because it's not powered. It realizes it's not powered and then turns back into a normal downward facing piston. But yeah, there you go. So hopefully that was an explanation of that glitch you could somewhat understand. I'll be linking the other ways to break Bedrock and Old Ganon's glitch, or the video about his glitch, in the description. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something, and I'll see y'all later with another video. Okay, bye.